3 weeks, 3,400 kilometers.
It goes everywhere in the world, in the 5 continents.
Because this is bigger than a bike race.
It's a race that tests the extremes of the human spirit and strength. And never before has the Tour de France been met with a more important year. 100 years of so much success, yet so much scrutiny. The Tour began back in 1903 as a marketing exercise for the sporting newspaper Lotto as a way of boosting circulation. It did that and also started the world's largest annual sporting event and the nation's new source of identity and pride.
The tour was created by the media, by the written press. It was popularized by the radio, and now it is what it is thanks to TV, because the images of the tour go to 190 countries in the world.
As French television's former commentator and now Tour de France director, Christian Prudhomme has witnessed and overseen the race's glory moments and its darkest days. The revelations of Lance Armstrong's doping past late last year saw the fairy tale, the legend of 7 Tour wins, disintegrate into disgrace.
The skeptics, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry you can't dream big.
Armstrong is the past. Things have changed. It's not a perfect world. Cycling is not a perfect world, but it has changed. But obviously it's very important because it's a 100th tour.
But the race's reputation has been hit hard. Fans' trust and public support has been tested.
The Armstrong effect is going to still hang over this year's Tour de France, and the sport is looking for that shining light. There's no silver bullet to win the trust back. It's a long-term process. It's going to take years.
That process starts this July, and what a year to do it. The 100th anniversary has set the scene for one of the most spectacular races yet. Stage 18 is a must-see. For just the second time in the race's history, the riders will tackle the most famous climb in the sport, Alpe d'Huez, twice in one day.
13.7 kilometers, 21 hairpin turns, an average gradient of 7.9%. We're looking at a mountain climb, a stage climb that has the makings of the finest Hollywood blockbuster.
Those dramatic scenes could come on the descent. It's on a road they haven't used in the race before, and some riders claim it's too dangerous and a goat track.
If you want the race to be perfectly safe and not challenge bike handling skills, positioning the bunch and so on, race up the freeway from Marseille to Paris. But that's not what cycling's about. It's more than just the guy who's got the biggest motor. It's the one who's the bravest, it's the one who's the best bike handler, the one who's prepared to take the risks.
The nighttime finish down the Champs-Élysées has also drawn much attention.
And to be there on the Champs-Élysées when they're racing down those paved roads at night, can't wait. I think it will be a spectacle to really crown the 100th edition of the race.
And who will it be wearing the yellow jersey on that evening on July 21 is the big question. The holy grail of cycling will again be made by Le Coq Sportif, just as it has for so many years of the race's 100. And both Aaron Lee and Matt Keenan are tipping the favourite, Chris Froome, to be standing on top of that podium in Paris. Both also say not to write off Aussie hope Cadel Evans.
He's had a tough 2 years really since he won the race, and he's had a lack of consistency in his racing and his training. And coming into the season, I was personally concerned about his form. But then what we saw at the Tour of Italy was classic Cadel Evans. Form comes and goes, but talent never leaves you. And the guy finished third in Italy, and I think he can finish third again at the Tour de France.
With it being so mountain-centric this year, especially with Alpe d'Huez climbing it twice, Alberto Contador would have to be one of the odds-on favorites to compete and challenge Team Sky and Christopher Froome. Cadel Evans, the form he showed at the Giro, shows me that he's ready and he's a warrior. It's in his DNA to fight and compete.
Another Aussie cycling great, Stuart O'Grady, will be riding in his 17th tour, equalling the record held by George Hincapie. It's a pivotal year for his Aussie Green Edge team too, on their second tour.
Green Edge have to win a stage in this year's Tour de France to get a pass mark. Their season has been nowhere near as good as what it was last year.
The pressure's off them just a bit. I think people have lowered their expectations, which now makes them even more dangerous, I feel.
So the riders are ready and the scene is set for another memorable year of the Tour de France.
It's a personification of courage, endurance, pain, and glory.